St Helens Deanery has always been a deanery that's worked quite well together. There was good collaboration between the churches and the clergy. But we reached a point where we knew what we wanted to do, but we needed some help, some expert help to make that happen. And the beauty of Fit for Mission is that that expert help has come in to try and just grease the wheels and make some things possible.
When I think about what really drew me towards the idea of working together like this, for me, a large part was just the logic of it. It was the common sense part. You know, if something's not working in a particular way, then we need to find a way of helping it work. For me, I looked around at what do all other successful organisations do in today's age. Well, for a start off, you don't do all the same job in all the different places at the same time. You know, you look to make it work more efficiently, whatever you're doing, coming together to do that in one place, and then you can come together to do something different in another place, the right people in the right places. So all of this was a huge part of what drew me to this vision, really.
It's hard. It's a hard road because you're looking at some fundamental changes in culture, and culture's always hard to kind of shift. Mindsets are always hard to shift. We talk a lot about reaching beyond our four walls of our churches, but understanding what that looks like or could like has been difficult, I think, because there's not always a framework within which to do that. So I think Fit for Mission has provided that, has provided an opportunity, and then for lots of support around exploring what the wider Church of God can look like, the missional communities, looking beyond the four walls.
One of the things as well that I would encourage people is that we've never been given any reason by the Fit for Mission team not to trust and to take them at their word. Whenever we've asked for something, they've come through. Whenever we've had a problem, we've talked about it. Whenever there's been a need for more clarification, that has come. And this doesn't feel like something that has been foisted upon us at every stage, even down to what we call our leadership teams. It's been our decision. We've been able to make it look like St Helens. We've been able to say, actually, we could do with a commissioning service for clergy because we feel like we're entering a new stage of our ministry and we'd like to do that before God. And then they get the bishop to come and do it for us. It's always felt like every time we've asked, there's been a way of working it out, and that we're very much supported to make Church St Helens fit for purpose for the people on the ground.
One of the things that we want to all have the shared vision of is unity, and we felt God speaking to us quite powerfully about unity, and that has never meant becoming sort of a one-size-fits-all church. Part of the richness and diversity of the Church of England is that there are different traditions that are held. So for some people, the Anglo-Catholic tradition is where they engage with God. For others, it's much more on the charismatic, or informal, or formal, or liturgical, or less liturgical. So for us, it was really critical that all those different traditions were, yes, celebrated and offered to everybody, actually, as Church St Helens. I think in terms of theologies, we sort of navigate that with grace and good humour and love and respect. So the phrase in 1 Peter where it talks about, giving our viewpoints with gentleness and respect, that's really characterised our CLT meetings. So acknowledging differences, but celebrating them, and it's made for a very rich curacy, because I've also had the opportunity to be able to minister and go and talk in different church traditions as well.
I think in terms of Cultivate's been really helpful, because that's been allowing people to see the needs as a church and to realise that we can all be equipped and empowered to go out and spread the gospel in so many different ways, no matter who we are, no matter where we are on our journey. That's been so much growth around that, not just for those people coming along to join in the ministries, but for the people leading as well. So that's been really incredible. But yeah, I think also just people seeing each other, and you're getting discipleship from each other in that way as well.
So the picture in St Helens is the same as it is in a lot of places, that numbers are going down, but the number of buildings that we have to meet in have remained the same. And COVID just exacerbated that problem, and I think probably lifted a kind of lid and made us realise how desperate the situation was. So we have loads of buildings, but we don't need them all, and some of them are in the wrong place, or just not really fit for purpose anymore.
When the hall was earmarked for closure, it caused a lot of panic within people, because they'd paid pretty much similar to here, to St Michael's. They'd paid for a brick, so they'd put a little bit of themselves into the building. And all the community projects in Sutton used to take place there, you know, big luncheons, scouts events, discos, and a lot of our congregation grew up in that area and in that building. So when it was earmarked for closure, there was a lot of anxiety around. But we've realised if the hall itself is closed, we can then invest in the church building. And we've started that at the beginning of this year. We've taken out some of the back pews. We've made a lovely, warm, welcoming space. We've got big tables where people can sit. Our coffee morning, which is one of our missional groups, have transitioned into the church. And we're now holding our Lent course in there on a Thursday morning.
I think one of the realities of being a leader of a church is that at times it's really lonely and it's really hard work. And for me, the main thing that has been a benefit of being part of this larger single parish is that you're not on your own anymore. And there's nothing that we go through as individuals that we aren't all able to share, and that we haven't all probably experienced at some point as a church leader. We don't have to do it on our own. I don't think Jesus wants us to do it on our own. This is a way that we could look at working more collaboratively together. So I just encourage my colleagues to go into this with an open heart and open eyes and see what the possibilities are in their area.
It's a frightening journey, especially at the beginning when you're thinking, is it worth coming in? Should I opt into this? But I would definitely recommend everyone who's offered, come straight in.
If God's talking to you, you probably need to do something about that. So just take some risks, take a step forward, take a step in faith, and go for it.